Well, dear friends, I'm glad to welcome you to our channel. Today, we're reviewing the beautiful white 16th Pro Max with 1 terabyte of storage. And everything could be just like that, but let me rather tell you how you can, by trading from your phone without buying a new one, try to earn money specifically for this one, if that's what you want. Today, we'll take a look at trading from your phone on our platform, the Pocket Option platform. I'll explain why this can be convenient and how to make trading even more comfortable. We already have a video on our channel where we explained in detail how you can register and start trading on our platform using your mobile device. But today we'll talk about some tips, secrets, and strategies specifically for your phone. Let's switch over to the platform. Overall, the platform is identical to the one you see on your computer, yes. In other words, it's the same website. Nothing really changes here, it's the same application. It's just that because the mobile phone display is smaller, there are some special features. For example, if you're in vertical trading mode, if you hold your phone like this, you'll see a much smaller area of the chart than if you turn it and view the chart in landscape mode. That's the first nuance I'd like to point out. The second nuance I would highlight here is that not all indicators are convenient to use. For example, if we add a large number of indicators to our lower panel, let's add some, say, Williams, MACD, and let's say, I don't know, okay, RSI, yes. Haha, we've added 3 indicators and that's it. You can hardly see the chart anymore. So, when trading from your phone, in reality, especially at a certain scale, and if your phone's screen is quite small, using these kinds of indicators is not very convenient. That's why you should keep this in mind. And I would recommend using other strategies, because if you can't see the charts, you can make a lot of mistakes. Overall, on a phone, a more suitable approach would be to trade short-term deals, meaning chart intervals of 15 or 30 seconds. This way, in principle, you won't lose any advantages and will be able to enter trades with enough confidence. If you use indicator-based strategies, I would use those indicator strategies that are displayed directly on your chart. You can also change the chart types and intervals through the 3 dots at the top. And if we're talking about indicators, then enable those that are shown on the chart. For example, the Keltner indicator is perfect because its pattern is right on the chart. And no matter how many indicators we add to it, we will always be able to see them in a very convenient way. For today's video, we'll have a relatively small balance of $500. I will actually use the indicator that I have already connected. I will increase its multiplier to 3. Because in fact, trading with this strategy from a phone is very, very convenient. We will change the expiration time to 1.5 minutes. We will trade for the duration of 3 candles on a 30-second time frame. Let's see how it goes. Maybe over time I'll switch the time frame to a 15-second chart. Overall, the idea is the same. We use assets with the highest payout and the assets are identical. We have currencies, cryptocurrencies, indices, and stocks. Basically, we'll start with currency pairs. We'll be looking for deviations according to our indicator. We'll be searching for something extraordinary. Well, while I'm working on this, I think we'll pause for now. And as soon as I find a suitable trade for us, I'll go live. Right now, I saw that we're moving outside the boundaries of our blue channel. And let me remind those who haven't watched our previous videos, what is the Keltner indicator based on? In other words, we always aim for our average value. This is the middle line, essentially a moving average over a certain number of periods. And as soon as we move out and break above this blue cloud, we can consider selling trades. If on the contrary, we break out below our lower boundary, we can consider buying trades because the chart always tends to return to the average value. When trading from a phone, it's much harder to look at any levels because in general, it's more difficult to switch to higher time frames, but it is possible, yes. But in this particular situation, that's actually a certain advantage in favor of indicator-based strategies, yes. Because with an indicator, we see a signal, and in principle, we can always enter a trade based on that signal. It's not entirely correct to rely solely on indicators. We all understand that. But there is indeed a certain issue with the convenience of identifying support and resistance zones on a phone. Therefore, to sum up this little monologue, I would still give preference to some indicator-based strategies. Try to trade with basically 50 to 60% successful trades. and in this way come out ahead when trading from a phone. And while I was basically saying all this, we can see our first profitable trade. We already have $960 in our balance. I suggest we keep moving forward at the same pace. So I think I've already found a suitable situation for us with this currency pair on the closed market. Basically, we've broken through our upper trend line, yes, the dynamic one according to Keltner, and then pulled back. Now I'm going to watch how our last candle closes, and basically I'm already getting ready to open a trade. Yes, so to speak. Basically here we see a doji candle. I think this will be our reversal candle, so for an expiration time of 3 candles, we can already enter a sell position. Yes, we didn't break through our upper Keltner band, but honestly, I spent a long time scrolling and looking for entry points. And after going through all the assets on pocket option, I didn't find anything more suitable. Basically, even a signal like this is already worth some attention. In principle, this one can be traded as well. And when I saw the final doji candle, which is a candlestick reversal pattern, I basically decided to sell. Let's wait another 48 seconds and then see where this trade has taken us. Well, this is actually our second profitable trade in a row. I noticed that I forgot to switch to my lower time frame, which is the one I use for analysis, and on it we basically broke through the upper boundary. So you could say I didn't even break my own rules. But even by the candlesticks, this was more than a suitable entry point. Let's keep going. Well, I've found another suitable signal. There really aren't that many signals on the market. I'm once again convinced of this. But right now, we're going to enter a 1.5 minute buy trade. I've lowered our risks a bit. We've already had 2 profitable trades in a row, so I'll enter with 900 instead of 1,800. Although today's video is supposed to involve higher risks. But even in this format, you still need to be cautious. This is quite a solid strategy based on the Keltner indicator. Out of all the similar indicators, I definitely prefer this one the most. I often use it in my own trading, and we've already made a more detailed video about it where we combined it with another indicator. That's why even when trading from my phone, I usually prefer to use it. Nevertheless, we have 30 seconds left until the trade closes. It would be great if it closes as our third win. Let's wait and see. As we can see, the price continues to move back toward its average value and has almost reached it. Our balance is now $2,671. I'm currently considering whether to increase the risks or just leave everything as it is and keep trading with $900. For now, while I look for the next trade, I'll think about it. Well, I've decided not to increase our risks after all, and right now I'm entering a sell trade so that if something goes wrong, I'll still have enough funds to cover these losses with another trade. Here we went beyond our range. Right now we're on the 30-second time frame. That's correct. We broke out of the range, immediately pulled back down and tried again to break through our blue support level. Well, more precisely our dynamic resistance level, but it didn't work out. Therefore, even though we are now already inside our blue zone, I decided to make a decision to sell. But I assumed that something might go wrong. In that case, I'll simply double the amount and open the next trade at the best possible entry point, which will cover the losses from the previous one. For now, we still have 35 seconds left. I'll probably wait about 20 seconds and then we'll proceed based on how high our price is. Right now, we are still outside the blue cloud, so I think in principle we can open a sell trade. Now, it all depends on whether the price returns back into our price channel, but in fact, everything looks quite presentable. For a very long time, we were trading here without any distortion, so to speak. I think that now, according to other indicators and metrics, a return to our area is actually quite likely. So we still have 1 more minute to see how this will end. Let's wait and see. So I got a call for a moment and the recording was interrupted, but we can see that after all, the price has returned to our level. We didn't make any mistakes and our balance is $3,241. For now, it's still quite difficult and time-consuming to find trades, but I hope this process will speed up a bit. Well, after quite a long period, I found the perfect entry point for us. We'll be entering with reduced risks again. Since we've had quite a long streak of successful trades in a row, there's no point in taking unnecessary risks. We'll make a trade with the hedge. Following the same principle, we opened a position for $1,000. Let's wait for the results in the same way. If something doesn't go according to plan, we'll hedge our trade. And once again, we make a profit. Well, in principle, it was quite likely because we deviated significantly from our indicator. Moreover, there was a resistance level here. We can see that the price was in this area quite recently, so now we just need to earn 1,000 or even less, $840, to achieve a tenfold increase. That was exactly the goal I set for today's video. Let's try to find our last trade without turning off the camera. I'll actually show you just how this really isn't a short process. Well, why isn't it short? Because at the very beginning of our video, we set the multiplier to 3. That's a really significant deviation, but it's also what gives us such a good success rate on our trades. That is, it's clear that we could lower our multiplier, and you could say we got lucky. Right now, we've just seen a good entry point for a buy. We did open a little bit in the blue zone, but the price went precisely down to our lower mark. But let me finish my thought. You can lower the multiplier, but then you'll get a lot of false signals. You'll have to open a lot of trades, spend more time, and think through your money management system. And for our video today, where we already have fairly high risks, I think that's unnecessary. So it makes more sense to spend more time looking for the right situation, but with a much higher probability of closing in profit. Even if something goes wrong now, we still have enough funds in our balance to recover, and most likely we'll be averaging down even lower than this entry point. In other words, we'll go even further beyond our blue cloud range, as I call it, according to the Keltner indicator. So we wait. This might even be our last trade, and yes, that's exactly how it turned out. It's really cool that I actually showed the process of how I was searching for it, and that we found it pretty quickly. And in fact, we can sum up this video, and we highlight in the summary that pocket option is really simple. You can trade directly from your device, from your gadget. Yes, in some ways it's less convenient, but in this video I tried to share some secrets, which strategies and indicators you can use so that it's more comfortable for you, and basically you don't feel any issues even if you don't currently have the time or opportunity to trade from a computer. We achieved exactly a tenfold increase. We started with 500 and finished with 5,000. We took on quite high risks here, but the strategy really works out perfectly. It's not for nothing that I'm showing it in our videos more than once. But on this wonderful note, I think we'll wrap things up for today. Be sure to follow the link in the description, where you can find a promo code for a 50% bonus on your first deposit if you're not already trading with us. And definitely check out our other videos from Pocket Option. They're just as fun, interesting, and useful. See you in the next videos.